Do you like scary movies, Sidney?
So guess what film I watched this evening? Yeah, I've got a lot to talk about on this one. As always, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I'm also on Twitter and TikTok, so if you're on any of those platforms, please hit me up. So let's talk about Scream. We've got Neve Campbell, we've got Courteney, we've got David Arquette back on the big screen. What could be better? I was really thinking about this film coming back from the cinema, and you know what, I did enjoy it, but there was so many parts which I'm just like really disappointed with. Like, I mean, this is probably going to be, there's probably going to be a lot of spoilers in this, just so you're aware. So if you've not seen the movie, go watch it and then come right back here and then we'll debate it a bit more. But honestly, I think the whole scenario of the movie, I did enjoy it, and there was a lot of jump scares, and I do love the fact that they kind of made genuine to the original movies as well, which was kind of nice to see. I despised the fourth movie. I mean, the whole comedy spin that they put on it, I mean, I can kind of see what they were doing, but yeah, just not my cup of tea. I thought they just ruined it at that point. And this kind of redeemed it a little bit, but there was still quite a lot which I did have a lot of issue with, especially with the killers at the end. Spoiler, sorry. There are two killers. Again, there wasn't really enough backstory to why they had the motivation to do what they were doing, and I totally get it, but some of the dialogue, it just seemed really lazy. Some of the main characters just weren't in it enough. You know, you had Courteney, you got David Arquette. Neve Campbell, you kind of saw later on in the film, and you did kind of see snippets and things, but I kind of wanted to see more of them, you know. I just wanted to see something a bit different, you know. And I'm sure you could probably agree with me as well, but the fact that Dewey died in this movie, I mean, I kind of thought they would probably kill off a main character, and shocker they did, but honestly, just the way it happened was just like, I find it was just a lot of lazy writing, and I know that's a cliche with a lot of these bad movies, but oh my god, I just hate kind of putting movies down the fact that, you know, they only do these movies for the money, and yeah, they do, but you know, you got to keep it to the fans. There was a lot of dialogue in this movie that was trying to keep itself up with kind of talking about, you know, the fandom and the fan base and the rules of how to survive a horror movie, and that was really nice to kind of hear, because that for me kind of kept it to the originals. You know, people are being street smart, you know, they're trying to survive a killing, but it was almost like they were just inviting it all in. You had all these kids in this big house, and they're all like, because they know the rules, it's like, yeah, well, he's dead, well, he said this, and clearly a victim would say that and then die afterwards, like, I'll be right back and all that kind of stuff. And then you had a person on the couch, I can't remember the names, it's literally just going through my head right now, but I'm like, well, you're gonna die because you've said that. And you had all the kids kind of like accusing each other, and you're thinking, just call the bloody police. And why you just kind of sat there, and it's almost like just waiting for it to happen. And the fact that it all happened in Stu's house, you know, that's just asking for trouble, really. I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, speaking to my friends about it, and even hearing all the Facebook comments and everything, I'm like, a lot of people did like this movie, and apparently it was the next best thing from the first original. I'm like, really? I mean, I love the fact that they brought Billy back. I mean, obviously he was kind of like the Phantom for his daughter, but that was kind of cool. I kind of expected to see Stu as well, because I'm sure I read something about him coming back as well, but we didn't see him. But the fact that they brought Billy back as the Phantom, I thought that was really cool. The father-daughter kind of thing, that was kind of cool. I did like that. That was a nice kind of touch to the movie. It kind of brought things back. But yeah, I think it was just really all over the place. It was a little bit sloppy, especially the fight scenes, like the stabbing scenes were just like, I mean, some of them were really gruesome. Like, you saw the scene where this guy got stabbed right through the neck and you can kind of see the blade coming out, and I'm like, oh, like, I mean, hands down to the props and all that kind of stuff, but yeah, I just did think it was kind of all over the place, really. I would definitely like to watch this film again, specifically not just because I enjoyed it, but I'd probably want to get more into the grittiness of it, because now that we obviously know who the killers are, it would kind of be nice to actually rewatch how they actually were. And pretty much from the get-go, I was like, it's the boyfriend. It's going to be one of the girls, clearly, because, they are pretty much accusing each other. And that was the thing, they were just all accusing each other. You know what I mean? You had all these different scenarios, and some of them were kind of like on their own, and even so, a lot of them were like, don't travel anywhere on your own. Don't go down in the basement and get some bears on your own. And even though they knew this, they were just doing it anyway. You know, I mean, you had Amber, obviously she was the killer and she was hosting the party at Stu's house. And I'm thinking, why are you hosting a party? I mean, before that, obviously we didn't know she was the killer, but why are you hosting a party? You know, I mean, it just seems crazy, you know, and tonight of all nights when this killer's on the loose and people are dying, I do realise I'm rambling. I do that a hell of a lot, especially when I've got just so much information to get out. Normally I try to put it out, like lay it all out, but it just doesn't work for me like that. Okay, so this is what it is. But as always, it's always great to see them on the big screen. It's just amazing, like, you know, from the early 90s to now, and obviously this franchise is still going just because it's so popular. And they just look so different. I mean, a lot of people are just like, David Arquette, oh my god, he's still as handsome as ever. You know, he's got that kind of maturity about him, and that's sexy and that kind of thing. And Neve Campbell as well. I mean, she still looks beautiful. I mean, I've always thought she looked beautiful, even in the first movies. I kind of had a little bit of a crush on her when I was young, but yeah. But Courteney Cox, I mean, all that plastic, I mean, Gail Weathers, I mean, so different from what she was in the first one, but, you know, there you go. And I was speaking to my friend about this as well, the fact that, you know, Courteney Cox and David Arquette, they were married for a short period of time, and then it was only a couple of years ago until they divorced. So I wonder what acting was like for them. I mean, surely they must have stayed friends as well, but I think as well because they were kind of interacting with each other because they did get married in the franchise and divorce, and obviously that's happened for them in real life. So I wonder how that kind of worked with them as well. That's quite an interesting topic. And Mindy as well, I thought her character was really cool. You know, she was kind of like the Randy in the movie. She was quite critical with her critiques on how to survive a horror movie. So I really liked her character and she was really funny. But honestly, like the whole fact that it was kind of repeating itself from the first original, it made sense because it was obviously in Stu's house. But the fact where she's on the couch and she's watching the first stab where Randy's obviously on the couch and he's like behind you, and then it happens. And I'm thinking, it's just getting a little bit cheesy, but in a good way, I suppose. But still, it did end really quick as well. Like I was watching it through, and obviously you're expecting there's a big showdown, and obviously it happens, but it was almost just kind of like a dead end. It was like just a drop, and that was it. You know, and I just felt a bit kind of cheated with it, really. You know, I mean, the friends that I was with at the cinema said they quite enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say I didn't enjoy it. I did enjoy it, but it was still, yeah, it was kind of like that. But I would definitely probably give this film maybe a 5 out of 10. You know, it did kind of tribute Wes Craven as well, so, you know, maybe that's one of the reasons they brought this film out, you know, and kind of introduce another couple of characters for the next, 3 or 4 movies to come. I have no idea. Maybe Gail Weathers would die in the next one, or even Sidney. I don't know. Who really knows? But yeah, let me know your comments, guys, of what you thought about it. And please like and subscribe, and take care for the next review. Cheers, guys. Bye.